Formula One just held its hottest race event of the year down in Miami.
But Formula One stock is near an all-time high, and it's all thanks to your 28-year-old little sister.
Now, Yetis, if your buddy Timmy called in sick today, it's because the Kentucky Derby, Cinco de Mayo, Star Wars Day,
May the 4th,
NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and Berkshire Hathaway's shareholder conference all happened over the weekend.
and the Met Gala is today.
Yeah, but the biggest event last weekend, physically, was actually the newest event.
Formula One racing, Formula down in Miami, Florida.
As they pronounce it in Daytona. Formula One, the most technical cars, the most expensive tickets, and a whole lot of drama this weekend down in Miami, Jack.
The Dutch racer Max Verstappen drives for Team Red Bull, but almost missed the Miami race because his baby was born just a couple days before.
Like literally right before. Oh, and then Ferrari unveiled a blue Ferrari car?
What?
Yeah.
Ferraris are red. That's the rule.
It's like an insult to Italy worse than pineapple on pizza, man.
Still, 2024 was a record year for Formula One. They generated nearly $4 billion in revenue.
Now, historically, Formula One racing has been ignored in America. This is NASCAR country. This is an indie world, baby.
But today, F1 is actually the fastest growing professional sport in the United States. Depends on the time frame, but along with pickleball and the WNBA, F1 is booming in America.
And here's what Jack and I find fascinating. Formula One is also a publicly traded business.
It was acquired 8 years ago by Liberty Media, and now the stock is near an all-time high.
But Jack, could you press on the Pistons a bit and sprinkle on a little context to their $4 billion in Formula One revenue?
That's 4 times the revenue of NASCAR.
Okay.
It's almost as much as the NHL.
Wow.
And it's half as much as the NBA.
But honestly, it's even more impressive when you consider that Formula One only has 24 races a year.
They're called Grand Prix, not races.
Oui, Jack.
Still, 24 Grand Prix. Compare that to 1,230 basketball games played in the NBA every season.
So what we're saying is that each Formula One racing event is really a profit puppy.
It's like a mini Olympics. It takes over the entire city for a whole weekend.
Get this, the Miami Grand Prix yesterday got 25% more in ticket revenue for Miami's Hard Rock Stadium, where they do the race around, than all the Miami Dolphin football home games combined.
You better call an audible, Dan Marino, because racing is taking over Miami.
One race was equal to 8 football games in revenue.
And it's the third race in the United States. There's also one in Austin, and there's also one in Las Vegas.
Now, besties, it is Netflix who we can thank for growing the F1 fan base. Their reality show during the pandemic brought more fans and more sponsors to the sport.
Especially in the United States. But F1 just struck a $1 billion sponsorship deal with Louis Vuitton.
That's right, the handbag company is now sponsoring the sports cars.
F1 also just got a $450 million check from America's Cadillac.
Because Cadillac wants to be the 11th Formula One racing team, so they had to pay a fee in order to enter.
And they join the circuit next year.
But the most valuable part of the Formula One business model is
TV.
Yeah, it's broadcasting.
Like with every sport. Our bet, Netflix is going to buy the rights, which expire next year.
Interesting.
And turn F1 into a globally streamable, like glitzy kind of show with a halftime event. Rihanna's going to be there. Yeah.
And Lady Gaga singing half.
There's no halftime in racing, but I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I'm sure they will change the sport for that money, Jack. But the wildest part about F1's business model is actually who's behind it.
Nick and I jumped in T-Boy style to the earnings report from F1 last quarter. Female fans and fans under 30 are both up 50% for F1 in the past 5 years.
That's right, your 28-year-old little sister is who's driving growth at Formula One.
But I'll be honest, even I'm attracted to the racers in Formula One. Have you seen how chiseled those chins are?
Max, don't Verstappen at all. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Formula One?
F1 has mainstreamified the VIP section.
Yetis, here's the irony. Formula One is the only mainstream luxury sport, yeah, that's a contradiction, that we can find. Polo, sailing, those aren't mainstream.
But F1 is mainstream, even though it's the glitziest of all the sports in the whole world. Nick, most Grand Prix have their circuits viewable by yacht.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Monaco on the south coast of France, that's the most famous F1 face track.
And yet, luxurious F1 is watched by 1 billion fans. It is also the fastest growing pro sport in America.
And most of those billion fans do not own yachts.
So Formula One It is sponsored by David Yurman Jewelry and Brunello Cucinelli's fancy clothing, and yet it's also sponsored by Puma and Adidas.
How does F1 pull it off? Such a wide, diverse spectrum of both fans and sponsors. It's strategic about what it keeps exclusive.
So Formula One limits itself to only 24 races, only 10 teams, and only 20 drivers.
But it scales the media part. 100 million followers on social media, and it's broadcast globally on TV.
So besties, Formula One is at an all-time high because it pulled off a contradiction Hermes never could.
It's mainstreamified the VIP section.